Good evening and welcome to Gustav Making Stuff. And today we're making another snowman guy, which have movable lips also, because that is fun. So let's get going. So, starting here with this 3D file that I have modified in Tinkercad here to make the mechanism. So you see it's pulling back in the back, and it has a bolt in the middle there, and then the front hole will have a rubber band in it, so it will open when I open my mouth. If that makes sense, you probably will see more of that in a little bit. However, now, so you have this plastic 3D printed thing here as a base. And you see now I'm taking here a little bit of small pieces here and, taking the rubber band here and tying them together. In the back, you see, and also in the in the front. So you see now it will pull back. Sorry, it's not a rubber band. The rubber band is in the front. The string is in the back because that is stiff. So you see, I'm putting these screws here, and I will now put the rubber band there. This will make it go back to its original position when I'm closing my mouth, and I also attach this little chin lid here. And now this is just for comfort, having a little bit of foam next to your head here, and also in the chin part, so it doesn't make a giant hole into your chin when you're trying to do this. So you see, there we have it now, and this is going to be putting on like this, so when I'm opening my mouth and talk, the lips will move, and on the inside you will see the teeth that also moves up and down a little bit. It's a very simple, not animatronic, but puppeteering of a mask, we should say. So anyway, now we need to make a hole here so I can make this with a rubber band to attach to my head properly. So you see, we have it like that. You can also make some things, you can tighten this up, but this is quite good for me. As you see, it moves quite well when I'm talking here. And if I put more of that, it will be even better. You have to attach it and adjust it to your own head or the person you are making it for. So now I'm having this translucent caps here for some, I think it was shampoo bottles or something. But anyway, we will gonna put them on here. You can see through them a bit. They're a very good base for making eyes. So now we are going to put some muscles onto this very squarey face here. So we're just gonna glue sections here of foam and building up like muscles, so we can put on some skin later, so he doesn't walk around and looking like that woman in Hellraiser 2, because that would be disturbing and scaring people away, unless that is your purpose. If you watch this around Halloween, maybe that is your purpose. However, you see, we have different foams here, and you need to make this very thin around the mouth, so it can open and closing without coming in contact with other things. So now you see I'm making the inside of the lip here by gluing a little bit thinner foam here to make them a little bit more round and anatomically correct from being a robotic part thing. You see, it looks instantly much better. Even though that doesn't really make sense at this point, but it will in the end, because you have to build it up in a layer. Also, it was supposed to be like some kind of Wookie thing, but later I changed it to making it like a werewolf creature instead, because I needed that. So you see, now I have some. This is madras foam, which is more flexible and not as stiff as this other EVA foam things going on here. So you see, you have to put it to the cheeks and let it be loose until it reaches the lips. Otherwise, it cannot open and closing properly without hitting other stiffer foam parts. So now you see I'm working my way to the backside of the head here by stretching it very, very little, as much as possible, because this is gonna wrinkle up. It will probably be a frustration practices and trying to glue this without getting too much wrinkles everywhere. So you see we have some wrinkles here going down under the lower lip here, but that will be solved with some other things later on. But you see, now I'm cutting up the lip here so we can glue it back together, so you will have more like a realistic thing going on. This takes time and effort and patience to make the lip look, because it has to. So now we see here, I can now open my mouth, and it looks more like lips than it did before. But you have to kind of open your mouth excessively to make movements here. So now it is the next part, which I will call the teeth. So this is some scraps from the 3D printer that I am trying to shape with a soldering iron here, because it melts very well to shape teeth that looks a little bit disgusting. Because I thought, why not have bad teeth, werewolf, Bigfoot thingy. It'll become like a Bigfoot later on. This is why this project took so long time, because it started as a Wookie, and then it didn't really was a Wookie, and then I wanted to use to something I could use for multiple things, and then I was thinking a werewolf, and then was Bigfoot. But you know, there is no one knows how a Bigfoot really looks like, so we have no point of reference more than very, very blurry pictures, as they all are. Anyway, so now you see here I am going to do the finishing touches here of the face, like the eyebrows and stuff like that. So now this is the basic structure here. Now we're gonna put on the nose, which is a little bit of a dog nose thing going on here. So it's a very thin piece of craft foam here, which I'm gonna stretch over in both directions at the same time and let it glow, so it will look like more like a dog nose than it did before. Because nothing of this is real. So anyway, now we see there. And now I am taking one base layer of latex here, so we can attach more latex to it later. And be sure to make it really thin around the mouth. It is very important. I cannot stretch it enough, because it will be more and more difficult for everything you do to opening this mouth. So now you see we have that, and I'll also use a little bit of like a filler around the eyes there. So now we're gonna make a proper layer here that is not fillering in the eyes of gray latex here. You can use other color also, depending on what your intentions with this thing is. But I use this gray paint here as a base coat for no other reason than it was supposed to be a werewolf, and then it didn't become that, which again. Anyway, so now you see I'm putting first the layer of the thin foam and then the thicker foam. And the reason for that is because now we're actually going to use this to sculpt with. This is not going to dry as a layer. This is going to be part of the sculpting process here. So not making it too thick. So now I'm taking bog roll here and shaping it around, because this is going to be very, very fantastic for doing almost like skin texture, and also you can do wrinkles very, very well. So just trying to make it soak up properly there. And you see this is just one layer, and I'm also gonna make the nose not be covered up there, because it has to look like a dog nose. So now we're gonna have some more latex on top of this here, and now you have to hurry up a little bit while doing this, because if you get them too dry, it will be very, very difficult to shape. So you see, very, very nice and even coating here going on, and also in some places like around the nose, where you're gonna know that you're gonna be having more wrinkles than on the other side. You can put some more latex on because that will help your process. And also, if you guys now you're taking this dental tool here and dip it in not latex, Vaseline, because it won't stick to the latex. So you can actually do this little sculpturing thing here. As you see, I'm doing some pores and the wrinkles and stuff like that to make it more realistically good there, and also fix some of my mistakes there around the nose. So you see, and don't worry about the eyes because we are going to rip that out, but be sure to make the ledges around it very, very good and even. Now, so now I'm doing all the pores here on the nose, so you see it instantly looks better than it did before. And there we go. So now now when it has been drying a little bit more, it's much easier to clean off the eyes here, because you have to clean it up when it's completely dry also, but this will absolutely help you later on in the process. So you just take some paper there and wipe it off with. Now I'm taking the glue gun here to make the texture of the lips. We're just very, very thinly smearing it up and down, so it looks like it has been, stretched. Because lips have a very interesting texture on the body, because it is stretched and have wrinkles in like both ways, which very few things have on to the body, which I might be wrong on, but this is something I know. And now we can also do it before the glue is completely dry. We can also make some extra wrinkles with the Vaseline tool here. Now this has been drying for like a year, which is not necessary. But anyway, so now we're gonna repaint this and not being gray anymore by being brown, but it's still a very good base coat if you want to do something that looks like this here. So now I'm having mixed here acrylic brown paint with some brown makeup paint to make it look like, a little bit translucent, so the gray will pop through it a bit here and there, and this will look better, because things looks fantastically realistic and good if you build it up in layers. For some reason the human body eyes react in that way, that we things that it looks like in layers and have more when one solid color looks more real. So anyway, now I'm just taking some black here and filling in the wrinkles here to exaggerate them a little bit more. And also that spot, for some reason, is a pink spot in the middle of the head there, which I taken the opportunity to make a little bit of a mold of. And you see now I'm highlighting here a little bit with a black here, so he will look a little bit older, and also washing it more this brown color here, and making it a little bit more darker around the eyes and more definitions around the mouth and stuff like that, so it looks like properly. Now this is an werewolf mask that I got from some kind of Halloween store, and I'm going to use the hair to make his beard and hair to grow together, so it look like a proper Yeti snowman Bigfoot thingy that is old and grey and have a lot of wisdom about how to blur yourself in a photo in the best way. It is just regular hot glue, so nothing more fancy than that. You can also sew this on if you have the extra time. So I hope you find this a little bit of a failed experiment here informative to make a Wookie or some other things with movable lips in the future. Right.